Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Milk,
Eggs,
and a Whole Lot of Tea.
Whole lot of tea.
Whole lot of tea. We are so excited this morning, Allegra. We have a special guest on, but before we jump into that,
Yes.
let's do our thing. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Brandon's been MIA because he was on a vacation.
I was on vacation last week. It was so nice.
It was.
Yes, I was in Amsterdam, the Netherlands. It was great. So if you've never been, definitely a highly recommended place to go. It just makes you see how America is very different from Europe.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
It could be a culture shock.
It is, but I kind of like Europe a lot. So
Did you do the red light district?
Oh yeah, we did everything. That was interesting. Walked down the red light district, ate our way through the town, went on a canal boat tour, which was kind of cool. Just all those kind of little things that we did. And yeah.
Okay. Good to see you.
Now we're back. Yeah. Thank you.
We are back.
What did you do this weekend or last week and this week?
The weather was nice, so I was outside.
Ooh.
I was
were you
outside.
trying to find yourself a man?
Yeah. Yes. That is. Yes. All right. Moving on.
Oh my God. All right.
The reason why we are here. I am so ecstatic.
So excited. So, y'all, we have Ahri Jackson here today with us. Say hi, Ahri, to the crowd.
What's up, gang?
Yes. All right. So before we ask her to dive into a little bit about her and kind of, how she got started with sex and relationship therapy, Ahri, we were planning this podcast and we just wanted to have something fun, engaging. We talked about having sex topics, all of those good things. And we reached out to Ahri. She actually said yes. We met with her, I don't know, a month, 2 ago, something like that, a while back. But since then, we've been in communication. We're so excited to have you. And we have a slew of questions to get through today. So, Ahri, start us off by telling us a little bit about your background and really how you got started in sex and relationship therapy.
Yeah, dope. So I'm Ahri. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and I am a sex and relationship therapist. So what that means specifically for my niche is I work a lot with kinky and non-monogamous individuals, helping them develop skills in assertive communication, boundary setting to have their most pleasurable sex experience. I get a lot of fulfillment out of people having really disgusting sex.
Disgusting sex.
Disgusting.
Gross. It really brings a lot of joy in my life to see people disinhibit themselves in that way and really connect to their sensuality and their sexuality, however that presents to them. So a little bit more about me. I got into this just through my own life experiences. I'm polyamorous, I'm kinky, and I've been this way my whole life, even before I had the language to describe it. And through school, through networking, through an amazing mentorship, I was like, oh shit, I can get paid for this. And so here now I have my practice, which is called Beyond Vanilla Therapy. And I do individual and group, individual and couples therapy there. I have a lot of couples. And I'm also developing courses to be able to do group work as well.
That's what's up.
Awesome. That's so cool, Ahri. Awesome.
Yeah. So, Ahri, can you talk a little bit about what is sex therapy?
So essentially, sex therapy is talking about your sexuality. I think it oftentimes get equated to sex work, and we respect sex workers over here. This is just different. It's oftentimes talking about the shame, guilt, trauma, etc., that people have experienced when developing their sexual identity, how they can deconstruct that, how they can heal from those experiences, and then paradigm shift to a more positive, pleasurable ideology around sex. So that is what it is, at least at my practice.
Yeah, which is great because we're humans. Every human has sex at some point in their life, or experiences, or might experience those feelings, or those notions, or whatnot. And really, it was cool just to hear you say, you've been in this kind of realm your entire life before words could even describe what you were doing and feeling. So you've always had this passion, this this directive towards helping people out, which is incredible. And so on your website, we did a little digging. So you say, I'm extremely passionate about, excuse me, let me start that over. I am extremely passionate.
You got it. Extremely passionate.
Passionate. There we go. Cannot get that word out. About sexual wellness and aim to deconstruct society's view on sex, pleasure, and relationship styles. Sex therapy is not just about improving your sex dysfunction. So we love this. It resonated with us, but we had a question that came from this as well. So to you, how do you continue to deconstruct the societal view on sex, pleasure, and relationship styles?
Yeah, specifically what that looks like oftentimes is talking about the patriarchy. I feel like that's my favorite fucking topic.
Talk about it.
Talking about patriarchy, talking about misogyny, talking about sexism, talking about how religion really does foster these moral clauses when it comes to sex. For example, sex is only for procreation, or sex is between a man and a woman. And as most people should know at this point in time, that's just the truth, and that's never been the truth. So constructing those means working with the people on their individual level about how have you internalized that? What type of shame maybe you have regarding religion? So, excuse me, y'all. So for example, if you are kinky and you've been told that vanilla is the only way to have sex, so no choking, no spanking, none of those things, those are amoral, those are sinful, but you have those desires, we unpack where they came from. We talk about the messages you received. We talked about how when you received those messages, they started impacting your ideology and your brain, and how they then started impacting the decisions you made in life. And then how we can break that down to be like, it's not that deep, bruh. Like it's just not. You like
That's
what you
my saying.
like you like what you like, and you can be religious and still like what you like. The two don't have to be exclusive. So that's oftentimes what deconstructing looks like for me. And on a more like societal basis, that's what my courses are going to be like, literally trying to get people to understand that being in love with one person is not the only form of love, that you can be polyamorous, have multiple partners, and that still is legitimate, because there is no right way to experience and express love and intimacy and sex.
So Ahri, tell me this. When is the right time for someone to seek sex therapy?
When you're noticing dysfunction in your life. So maybe not dysfunction, maybe distress is a better word. So I'm starting to be consumed by the thoughts that I have regarding sex. I'm starting to be consumed by anxiety, worry, regarding how I'm presenting. I can't experience pleasure because I'm having these types of thoughts during sex. When it's really starting to disrupt your functioning on an everyday basis, or even before an everyday basis, you can come in and you can see a sex therapist.
That's good.
That's good to know.
And really stemming on that, you know, we all like to get jiggy with it every once in a while, or, you know, every day, or however often you get jiggy with it. But with that, you know, you just said to come in and seek therapy, but how do you go about, you know, keeping the spark alive and communicating with your partner on those levels? So like, you know, if things are, you know, dysfunctional and things like that, where you do need to seek that, how would you recommend someone go about that, communicating to their partner, hey, we might need to go see somebody?
Yeah. Or especially if there's like, if someone's into kink and someone's like, I'm not comfortable with that.
Yeah, 100%.
I guess, how do you have those conversations?
Yeah, for sure. How do you breach those topics? One is always with yourself. I'm always going to be looking inward before going outward. So reflecting on what you need. So what that can look like is, am I fully satisfied in my relationship, in the sex I'm experiencing? If I am not, why am I not? Is it not the type of sex I'm enjoying? Is it the frequency or lack of frequency? Is it not long enough? Is it length? Really looking inward to be able to figure out what the barrier is, And then once you have a better understanding of, okay, well, I'm not getting sex as much as I would like in this relationship. I'm trying to fuck 5 days a week and I'm only having it. That's not working for me. Then you can go to your partner, and I always say lead from curiosity and consent. So, hey, I would like to have a conversation with you about our sex life. Is that cool right now? Do you have the capacity for that right now? And allow them consent to engage in that conversation. And if they so choose to engage, saying, this is what I'm experiencing, using I feel statements. I feel I'm unsatisfied in the amount of times we're having sex in a week. Ideally, I would like to have sex 5 times. I'm noticing it's only happening once. Can we talk about a compromise or why it's only happening once? Because we all have individual issues that present in a relationship that impact the cohabitation and cohesion. So that is probably the best way. And you get that same energy when you talk about kink, like, hey, there's something I would really like to talk to you and I really want to try. Can we have a conversation about it? I'm trying to be chokeslammed when we have sex. So comfortable with
chokeslammed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And make sure, especially when it comes to like kink and exploring kink, that the person or persons you're engaging in that in are comfortable with the act that you want to engage in.
Absolutely.
Both parties have to vibe with it.
Yeah.
All parties.
All parties have to vibe. Yeah.
Girl, you taking us to church today.
Communication is key. Communication.
Communication is key. Yes.
That is key.
For sure. And I liked, sorry, just before you go on,
ahead.
I liked the 2 C's. Was it curiosity and consent, right? The 2 C's is what we got to remember, or so y'all out there.
To introduce something new to your, whatever your status is, curiosity, communication, and what was the last C? I forgot.
Consent. Oh, so 3. Okay, so sorry, 3. So curiosity, communication, consent. I love that.
I like that. C's. I like that. Okay. I'm sorry I got distracted.
Yeah, I'll take us then.
Okay, go ahead.
Sit over here. See, I had to fan myself.
I think it was the choke slam part that got me distracted. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
Oh, God. Okay, so on this note of, the 3 C's and everything, you also have to be able to establish boundaries with your partner. And so, how I know when we spoke to you a couple months ago and, we're kind of giving you like the lay of the land of what this episode was going to be like. A lot of what we heard from you too was about boundaries and how you establish those. So tell us, how to communicate, how to be safe, how to say no when you're not or when you are uncomfortable. Like, what does that look like? And I know it kind of goes back to those 3 C's, but like on that boundary level, can you tell us a little bit about, what should you do if you're uncomfortable, or, if you're just trying to set those boundaries with your partners or partner?
So when it comes to, that's a really great question. So when it comes to setting boundaries with individuals, assertive communication is part of that. So you're absolutely right when you think about those 3 C's we've discussed, and particularly is understanding your limits. So I like to help people navigate boundary exploration with like a stoplight situation. So green means go, yellow means pause, red means absolutely fuck no. So having an understanding of where you are. So for example, kissing is a green, like it's a go anytime. I'm not going to have any issues with that. Putting your hand around my neck is a slow pause. Like that's not true for me, but that could be for somebody else. I'm a choke. Anyways, you can
get Allegra heated already.
Don't
like,
do this
but that is a pause, and what that would be is a soft limit. So, okay, I'm hesitant about it. Let's talk about it before you do it. And then the red is absolutely not. Stop. You can then be like, these are the things that are no matter what the circumstances are, they're not going to be okay. So for a lot of people, that is anal. Like anal play is usually, especially for women, a hard no. And that's fine. It's you have your choice to choose what you like and you don't like. But having an understanding of what those preferences are and laying it out in that like go, yell, like go, pause, stop scenario can make it easier to digest and as well as to communicate. So a lot of the questions, like a lot of the last couple of questions you guys have asked, comes down to an understanding of yourself. Like if you don't know what you
sure.
like, you're never going to be able to communicate this to another person. You're never, not to say never, it's going to be more difficult to communicate this to a person. That is where language barriers can show up. If you just don't have the words, how can you say? If you aren't even sure, if you haven't had the opportunity to explore on your own, on like a pleasure basis with your own body, it makes it very difficult to educate another person how to provide pleasure to you. So understanding understanding your preferences, developing the language on how you navigate those can be fundamental in how you set these boundaries and engage in sex.
That's
taking
it.
us to church again. That is so good.
That is good.
That is really good. So, I mean, it does. It comes back to knowing kind of who you are, you know, what you like, what your communication and love language style is. Because, I mean, with that love language, you might, I don't know.
Could be different.
It could be very different. So,
all right.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, no. So are you okay over there?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just thinking. I'm processing everything that we're talking about.
All right. So let's dive into a little bit of sexual conversations. Okay. So if you want to start introducing items like role play, threesomes, toys, objects, it kind of stems from wrapping back to what we talked about, communication first off.
Yep.
And then self-discovery of like if this is what you truly want to do or truly want to explore with somebody else. Okay, I'm on the key. Ahri's like, I'm on it. I feel like an A+. Like, I'm learning. And let's talk a little bit about red flags. So if we see a red flag, we see a barrier, there's something we're not introduced to, going back to communication. But if you are, as a sex therapist, how would you recommend someone communicating their red flags? I know we talked about the I feel statements, but can you give us an example of something that someone could use of like, red stop, we're not trying this today?
Safe word. Absolutely, every time establishing a safe word before you engage in acts. It doesn't have to be kinky, doesn't have to be anything. It could literally be vanilla sex. It can literally be heavy petting. But having a safe word allows your brain to take the pressure out of having to form a lot of words when you're in when you're in your lizard brain and you're experiencing a lot of pleasure. Oxytocin's flowing, serotonin's flowing, the loving and calming drugs. So you're altered. So that makes it, that can make it more difficult to articulate what you're experiencing. But having a one word, my safe word is pterodactyl. Stole it from a friend. She said
I love it.
Fucking love that. Pterodactyl is my safe word. And so if I'm in a position, I'm restrained, I'm experiencing pain that I'm not wanting, dactyl, and my partner knows, stop the shit right now. And so that is a very quick and easy way to stop things before they escalate, and then pause. And the next piece of stopping a situation where you feel uncomfortable, you're not sure you want it to proceed, is then reestablishing safety before re-engaging, if you so choose to re-engage.
Yes.
So, say that one more time.
Stop. For the people in the back. I said re-engaging after stopping a situation to make sure everybody is on the same accord and that we all feel comfortable with re-engaging, because it's rejection. Let's just call it what it is when you stop something, no matter what you're experiencing, a person can receive that as rejection, and that deserves to have space held for it in the same way stopping a situation to establish safety does.
I love that. So get that safe word, come up with that safe word, but then also to, once you use that safe word, reestablish, hey, or, re-engage, or, put that safety vest back on of, okay, hey, we're in this together. Let's just keep going with it.
Right.
But, and that to me, just on that relationship level, whether it's a, fling or a relationship, I mean, you have to have that communication with that person to be able to establish. I mean, you are doing intimate things with people. So,
Absolutely.
or a person. So,
And a safe word is such a first date question. It's not even like anything. Like you can totally like, have
100%.
a safe word. Like, what's your favorite color? How's your day going? Do you have a safe word? Like, it is very much, it should be normalized, in my opinion, to that space. It is normalized in my world. It's something I educate to my clients is that you can always ask a person's safe word. You can always check in with them as well. Like, hey, we haven't talked about safe words in a while. Are you still comfortable with this word being used as that? And that's first date, that's second date, that's 30-year marriage, that's 30-year life partner. Like these are things that are okay to repeatedly check in on. So yeah, be asking y'all people on y'all first date what their safe word is.
I like that. Just throw it in there.
You should.
Just throw it in there.
It's normal. It's not even weird. You got a bank card? Do you got a safe word? Like,
What's your safe word?
What's your social security number?
Blood type. Like, I just need to know what I'm working with. Absolutely.
Listen, I need to know how many commas are in that account or what. I mean, come on.
That may impact how often I use a safe word. Who knows?
I mean, who knows?
God.
I like that though.
Oh my God, who knows?
I'm just gonna start throwing that in there. What's your safe word?
What's your safe word?
Okay, so just educate us too, Ahri, on today's sexual lingo.
Yes, please do.
Because things are always changing.
Yep.
So what are some in your daily practices or to educate people on words that people should know or phrases people should know to feel comfortable talking about everything and all things?
Ooh, that's a loaded question.
Yeah. Get our pen and paper out real quick.
Lingo 101. I would say understanding that vanilla means traditional, monogamous, missionary sex.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to be vanilla if you want to be vanilla.
Don't shame
it's okay.
Yeah. You don't shame here. My purpose is literally just creating a space for people who are marginalized. So it's not shame. If you're into vanilla, you have every right to be into that. Another important word would be kink, is understanding that kink is anything of the non-traditional missionary. Even anal would be considered kinky at this point in time. So that would be important. Understanding that this is my soapbox I'm gonna hop on, that there is no such thing as ethical non-monogamy, that all non-monogamy is ethical, because if there's no communication, then it's cheating, and that's not non-monogamy. So that's just my little tidbit. I'm off my soapbox
again. Yep.
So that would be another important one. BDSM is an acronym that stands for bondage, submission, sadism, masochism, BDSM. I think that's it. So yeah, bond and dominance is in there as well. So that is a basic acronym that is loaded, but that is a basic acronym to understand kink and BDSM are oftentimes in a category together. Consent is a very important word.
That is it, consent.
Because if you don't know, then you should not be engaging in any sexual acts because you're dangerous. But consent means enthusiastically participating with body language, with vocalization. There's only positive interactions when engaging in a person sexually. That is consent. I think that would probably be the big 5-ish that could help people kind of expand their minds into just looking up kink and BDSM can open up a world for you. If it's something that you are very curious in, you can get a lot of information off of those and learn a lot about the subcultures within those categories just by researching those things.
That's awesome. And believe it or not, there's a lot of people out there that are kinky or, and and I want to stress, like, it's okay to research that. It's okay to seek people like Ahri, like yourself, and people to, open yourself up and, expand your horizon if you want, or if you don't, you don't have to. Like you have that option. And it's great though that, like, I mean, you're very well educated and well versed in what you do and everything. And we appreciate the tips today as well, because I mean,
Absolutely.
it does. It helps not only, I think, myself, I can't speak for you.
It helped. It sure did.
Yeah, it
Thank
helps.
you.
But
it also helps to have these conversations, because growing up,
100%.
did you talk about sex at home, or where did you learn sex from?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I mean,
Where
like,
did I learn sex from?
no, in general. Like, we had health
I
class.
was like, girl.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you want to disclose the tea, you're more than welcome to talk about where'd you learn it from.
See, and that was the thing too. Yeah, it was health class for me as well. But it was like, yeah, I remember watching a child giving birth in health class, and I was like, oh my God, like that scarred me.
I don't want kids. I'm not even kidding.
Same.
It traumatized me as a kid. And I refused to be pregnant because of that fucking video.
Isn't that crazy that when we were showed that in
loading, I was like, hold the fuck up.
Pause. That's
What
that yellow light.
My body is supposed to do that. That doesn't look natural. I literally know it's natural, but it can't be. Like, absolutely. So a lot of the videos, like I got that same rank ass. We all got that same crazy ass video with the white woman's legs spread open and all that.
Yeah.
That is not, and even more so, that's not the only way to give birth. That's not the only way to be pregnant. That's not the 100%. Only way to experience bringing life into the world. But through these health classes, which are very much politicized at this point in society, that we are not being educated, we are being shamed and guilted into behaving in a morally appropriate way. But then as soon as you get married, you're supposed to forget all of that and be busting it wide open for your husband or wife. But you're not giving people the tools to be able to bust that shit open.
I agree. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to test the waters before I'm like giving something from myself to somebody forever.
That's way too important to me to be signing up for this and having no idea what I'm signing up for. You got me
fucked up is what you got me on that, because you don't just go in and buy a car. You have to test drive the car. You got to make sure you know everything works.
They allow in the parking lot. They do.
Just see if it works for you or not.
Exactly.
You got somebody in with you, but they let you drive that thing around, and you expect this man to be my awfully wedded husband, and I don't know what he's driving. Wild. Wild.
I don't know the money in the account. No, ain't gonna do it.
I know, word crazy.
Pterodactyl. That's what it is. But I think that's why you have to have safe spaces for people to talk about this.
Yeah.
So going back to safe space, Ahri, some of our friends submitted in some questions. They were highly excited. I was like, yo, we have a sex coach coming on board. Her name is Ahri. Submit her questions, and we got tons of them.
We're excited.
Got tons of them. Now, majority of these questions did not come from me.
Or me.
Yes.
They're from others.
They're from others.
It's from our community out there.
So we're going to dive into asking you some rapid fire questions.
Let's go.
Yep.
Okay, perf. Like I said, these did not all come from me.
So I'm wondering, are they from you then? No, I'm just kidding.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about a sexual arousal disorder and how can you console your patients?
That's a medical question.
Got you.
And I was like, this is the one question I hope they don't ask me, because it is a medically based question that requires an assessment.
That's a great answer, though.
Yeah.
That's a great answer you just gave.
That is something, if you are believing that you are experiencing low arousal, which means either psychologically or like functionally, then you need to go see a doctor. And then if and when the doctor clears you, then you can progress to a sex and relationship therapist. But yeah, I can't give you no tips on that. I like my license too much.
Yeah. That's a good answer.
But that is a good answer. That's a really good answer. All right.
Okay, next question.
So, I don't know why I'm giggling over this question. It's not my question.
Don't be shamed. Move that thing from your face.
Don't be shamed.
Don't be shamed. Okay. What are some techniques or tips for enhancing pleasure during intimate moments?
Oh, I love this. I am a tantric breathing girly.
Oh, what is that?
So what that means is I was about to, let me not, I was really finna fucking demonstrate for y'all. But
I mean, you're more than welcome
is
to.
with a partner or multiple partners to set the scene and really help with connection and safety is face each other, or preferably sit in each other's lap. You wrap around each other's bodies and you breathe together. So forehead to forehead, heart to heart, hand to hand, and you take some like 3 to 5 cleansing breaths together. Breathe in for hold, breathe in for 4, hold at the top for 7, breathe out for 8. And then you do that. And then as you get towards like the 5th breath, you then begin like rubbing each other. I'm a heavy petting hoe. So on each other's bodies, because what that does is begins to allow circulation into the body. One of the most important things when it comes to arousal, which is a physiological response, blood flowing to our sexual organs. We need circulation for blood to flow. Rubbing each other, breathing together opens our capillaries, helps us breathe. It also allows for the intimate connection. It increases oxytocin, serotonin, all of those things that help with the connection and the safety that happens in sex. So that's like my number one foreplay. You can do that laying down. You can do that in the bed together. You can do that on the couch. You can do that in the shower. If you do it in the shower, you get the benefit of the steam as well to help with the capillaries. So that's a good
question.
That is a great
good
question.
one.
So just being there, touching.
The touching, the breathing,
the touch
in each other's spaces.
I'm gonna feel you heart to heart.
Yes. I like that.
Oh my God. Okay. So we have 3 more questions for you. First question. Can you share different stimulation techniques to spice up my sex life, is what somebody said. I did not say that, but someone asked this question.
Stimulation techniques. Are we talking about?
I mean, whatever.
How detailed do you? Okay, anyways. So when you think about fingering, one of the best techniques you can do to, again, increase blood flow and stimulation, pause. A very, very important fact to know about people who have clitorises is that it takes anywhere from 25 to 44
Girl, you're not going to say minutes.
I am.
Yeah.
Say it one more time, Ahri. Say it one.
And this is why I'm gay.
So 40 minutes to have a clitoris fully engorged to experience arousal. So why this is important? Because contrary to popular demand, it takes men anywhere 3 to 8 minutes to ejaculate. So and even before, not men, people with penises, even before a clitoris and a vulva owner can be properly aroused to experience an orgasm, a penis owner has ejaculated. So this is why this is so important to know and have this like educational knowledge that we never got in school, is because our organs, although they are built similarly, penises and clitorises both come from erectile tissue. That's why they engorge. The difference is the amount of time it takes for that engorging. So clitorises require far more physical stimulation, rubbing, licking, kissing, hugging, all of those things,
all that things,
to be properly aroused. Now, the good thing about that is clitorises have the ability to experience multiple orgasms. So that means once you get it going, you're most likely going to be good. But if you never get that person going, you never make it to 25 minutes, then that individual is going to have a very difficult time experiencing arousal. So making sure you're rubbing on the labias, because the clitoris is a wishbone, is not just the thing that's coming out the hood. So making sure you're rubbing on the labias, making sure if you're deciding to finger that your hands are clean and your nails are cut, and you're pressing inward and upward, 2 inches upward towards the G-spot area. So that is stimulating the inside of the clitoris, making sure that you're rubbing the hood and pushing the hood back so there's more of the clitoris actually exposed so they can experience more stimuli. The softer and more gentler the touch, the more impactful, because the clitoris has up to 10,000 nerves the penis only has like 3 or like 8 or something. It's a less organ. I will always applaud that. So, like, just making sure that you're giving proper attention and time to the clitoris that it deserves, because it is the only organ in the human body that is sole purpose is pleasure. That's all it's there for. It ain't got no other job but to provide pleasure.
And so, she wants it.
She wants it.
She wants to be
The kitty wants to purr.
The kitty wants to purr. No, you did not.
Yes. Yes. What Ahri said. Spend time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Now you got me fanning myself about a kitty and a purring over here.
That was a great explanation, though. Thank you, Ahri, for like really breaking that down.
Shit, why didn't we learn that in health class?
Because
you know how many men would be
patriarchy
way better.
That's what I was gonna say.
Right?
Patriarchy. Well, yep, that's it.
We do know. Yes,
that is it.
Okay, 2 more questions.
Okay, it's so many. Okay, hold on. Okay. Brandy, you probably have to repeat it back if Ahri can't hear me. Okay. How can I manage negative self-talk and critical thoughts that may be affecting my confidence in sexual situations?
My answer is going to be come see me.
Oh, that's a good one. Plug it in.
Come see me, because that is a core belief. If you're having some anxiety, negative self-talk often is associated with anxious thoughts. There are things that you can do off the rip, just thought stopping techniques, such as, I know this not to be true. This doesn't serve me in this moment. No, just saying those things when those thoughts pop into your head. However, this circles back to, if you're noticing that this shit keeps coming up, anytime you're engaging in sexual acts, then you need some additional support. And we need to get down to the true core belief of why these thoughts are coming up. Maybe did you experience something that you internalized, and now you think this about yourself, and anytime you engage in a specific act, it shows up for you, and then we can really deconstruct and unpack that. But really just challenging those thoughts as they appear is the best generalized advice on that.
Yeah. Makes sense.
That does.
Yeah, it does. Seek therapy if you're having those negative thoughts or, and especially for sure.
Yeah. Sex is supposed to make you feel empowered.
It should.
It
absolutely should.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you should feel it, because actually my next question kind of has to deal with, feeling empowered. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we feel shamed, or our bodies aren't just the way we want them, and, all that good stuff. But, we still have those arousal needs. So what are some strategies to overcome insecurities about, my body or anyone's body if you're in that situation? What would you say?
Yeah, positive affirmations in the bathroom while you're naked.
Oh, look at yourself.
Very much. And specifically saying positive things about the things the things on your body you don't like. So for a really long time, for me, I'm covered in stretch marks. This ass is assing. It had to grow somewhere, right? And I was very clear about that for years because of a partner who shamed me for those stretch marks. And so I internalized that shame. And so it took me years of being in the mirror like, these tiger stretch marks, girl, they look good.
Yes.
You got the marks back there because you got all that ass. And talking to myself and hyping myself until now I truly believe it. Like, I'm very much the girly at the beach with the thong, the cellulite, and the ass out. You getting up, getting it off.
You can't tell me wrong.
But me being able to look in my mirror and remind myself that my body is here, and thanking my body for everything that it's done for me, for keeping me alive when I have not served it appropriately, for functioning, I'm able. Like, I have to be grateful for the fact that I'm on 2 feet and I'm able to walk, and I get the privilege of being an able-bodied human. And so reminding myself of that and saying that in the mirror, that your stretch marks don't define you. You find a shit with them. They actually make you look better. And gassing myself in those ways. So yes, positive affirmations naked in the mirror.
I like that. I do too. Now watch. We're going to be naked in the mirror come tonight.
Your stretch marks be stretching.
It do. Nothing but a dump truck. Dragging a wagon.
Right.
Oh my God.
But that's true. You got to cheer for yourself before you cheer for someone else.
You absolutely do. You got to love
like that.
yourself and everything before you love somebody. So, y'all, this is it with Ahri. This is actually our part 1 episode with Ahri.
Part 1.
Has now concluded. And stay tuned for next week's episode where we invite Ahri back to the studio to talk more sexy talk.
Oh, a lot more sexy topics.
I got
All right.
Hey, get it.
All right, everyone. Stay tuned and we'll see you next week on Milk,
Eggs,
and a whole lot of tea. Bye.